That's original music. Unsigned artist, that is, K.K. Greenweed. That's the lady's name, K.K. Greenweed.
This is WINR.US. I'm also known as CyberGrip on the web, and I wanted to give a very brief summary of what I think is going on. We've got Cheney running around saying bad things are going to happen. We've got volcanoes starting to show some activity up in Alaska. We've got volcanoes taking place, or seismic activity taking place, something taking place in Yellowstone National Park. We've got seismic activity along California. We have a lot of things that are going on. Hey, they found methane in Mars. Woo, wow. Yeah, we've got methane gas up there. Why might that be? How about this? Rather than something taking place at this very moment and life starting to grow, stop looking through a straw and realize that all of the planets are warming up, and we've got some methane that has gotten warm and is now escaping in the partial vacuum of the atmosphere of Mars. That's what's happening. Mars is warming up. We already know that because the polar caps are shrinking. When the polar caps shrink, that's an indication of heat, usually. So now the methane that was trapped as ice is warming up and escaping. Same thing is happening on a moon of Saturn. Very same thing. They're seeing jets of gas, physically seeing jets of gas pop out. Well, how come? Well, it's getting warmer. When it gets warmer, gas escapes. Same thing happens to... Well, never mind. Regardless of politics, the ideas behind Jericho and these other movies and aliens and the Pope talking funny about all kinds of stuff and being able to believe in aliens and that's okay. None of this has anything to do with anything. We are simply going through what's called a gravitational lens. That lens is right here. And what's happening, if you can picture a steel ball on a string spinning, you would see when the steel ball came over here a perturbation that would take place. A perturbation. It's going to move. It's going to be affected. It's either going to be drawn in or pushed away from the gravitational lens, depending on the polarity. We're not talking magnetism exactly, but we are going through a gravitational lens. That's a good example of what's happening. Al Gore's not going to be able to stop it. No amount of high technology is going to be able to stop it. What we are going to do is go through it. That's our only choice. Nothing else is going to stop it. We're going through a gravitational lens. I keep saying that because I want everybody to understand that this is not anything that's man-made. And it's not anything that you're going to be able to stop. It is only something that you're going to be able to understand and prepare for. That's all. Everything else that takes place, all these banks collapsing, everything else, it's all in preparation for acquiring a lot of money so that the wealthy can do what they need to do. And that's basically dig a hole, buy a lot of food, and get prepared to slide down that chute. Take a look at ants. Take a look at an ant farm. You know, it's got glass on both sides. You see how the ant farms are built? Well, that's what the government's doing in many, many cities across the United States and all over the world. Go to thetwistedpickle.com, scroll down until you see a bunch of guys in hard hats. Read the article. It's amazing. We've got these machines that can dig an enormous amount of dirt out of the ground, make caves, holes, and everything else. We're there. That's where they're going. They're preparing. We need to prepare. I just have a shovel. I'm pretty much screwed. But there's always the chance I might know somebody that's got a backhoe. And we can dig a deep, deep hole. Something that's going to give us a chance. Burrowing into the side of a mountain is probably more practical. Something that you'd be able to do, something that would give you a chance. You can build there are construction techniques, basically spherical. cylindrical because they hold the weight the best. You don't want anything square. You don't want anything that can collapse. It's got to be spherical. We can go into detail on this, but the point is 5 minutes is already up. YouTube only gives you 10. So we are going through a period where people are being confused about what's going on. Is it this? Is it that? Are we going to see aliens? Who cares about the aliens? If they're going to come, they better come pretty quick because the Earth is going to go through and start doing some shaking, rocking, and rolling. And a lot of people believe that they're there, but can they stop us? Can they help us? Well, maybe so. If they've got the right kind of technology, and if we're nice enough, and if we're willing to give up whatever they want in return for keeping us from going through this, now that we're actually recording history. And there may be some record of what happens in the end when all of this is over for people to look back on and say, yeah, hey, take a peek at this. This is what happened to them. And it's been another 26,000 years, so this is what's going to happen to us. We're back going through that gravitational lens again. We need to spend the next few years preparing ourselves. The government's not going to do it. You might be one of the chosen few that have a spot selected for you and saved for you. I'm not. I may be selected by the government, but not to be saved. So stop looking at everything through a straw, the straw of politics or the straw of science or the straw of anything. Take a look at things from a global point of view, in fact, a galactic point of view. That's what's changing right now. All of the planets are going through it. We may be hit by something, we may not, but for sure our planet is going to go through some changes as it goes through this lens. It's not magic. It's not vindictive. It's not God, unless you want to say that, God made the lens and we're going through it. It is natural. It's a cycle. Prepare for it. Understand it. And if I'm wrong, I win. Oops, my bad. If I am not wrong, then it lends itself to a lot of explaining what's happening right now with what everybody's doing, going through, and feeling. We'll make a longer segment on WINR, and we'll put it up. But that's my brief composite. We're not looking at politics, nothing man-made. I don't care about aliens. I don't care about Alec Baldwin and the Hulu commercial. I don't care about Obama and his aunt and his illegal status. Nothing is going to change the fact we're going through that lens. So let's concentrate on what we need to do to survive, to go through this. Nothing may happen. Maybe we'll go through it this time and everything will be fine. Maybe the technology will come out that will save us from having to go through this particular event or mitigate the effects of this event. I don't know. But that's a brief summary. Stay tuned to WINR and CyberGrip, and we'll try to keep you updated on what we think is happening. That's us, signing out for now.